a meeting. So where are others?
I don't know.
Okay.
So
So,
check my details.
oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to check just actually immediately after this session. I'm going to give you feedback with high up line.
Okay.
So sorry. So last time we learned about Bootstrap.
Yes.
How was it?
It was okay during the lesson.
Mm.
Of course, after trials,
Mm.
things were starting to fall, but after later I worked out.
Okay. Did you find any
I like
difficulties? What was failing? What was working?
like the bit about
Mm.
what I remember about cards.
The code cards.
The card.
Mm.
After getting a card, like when I try to put a heading for that card,
Mm.
the heading goes below the image that I've attached.
Oh, did you check the order of the card? Because
Yeah, I
that
did do it.
when you
I
want to
just
say like it's a title, it has to be like card title. When you say card title, Bootstrap knows this is the title for my card, and then also the order matters.
the order of the code.
Yes, so that means the title has to come first before the image. So when I look at Bootstrap cards, let me just share my screen. When you look at this Bootstrap card on the website, so this is the output, this is the card. You're seeing my screen,
Yes.
and oh, it's actually the image that came first. But did you notice that
That very thing.
the very
Let me
thing?
just put my
Oh, the image is so big. How is it turning up?
it's small actually.
Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Let me create a small project here. So you basically do Bootstrap just the way we've been doing our HTML and CSS. The only difference is you can either use the CDN. So last time we were using the CDN or you downloaded Bootstrap. Let me say Bootstrap card. Let me just set it to auto save. So the first thing I'll do, I'll just create my HTML, open my work in the browser, and then just view how it looks like without Bootstrap. So it looks like this. But I wasn't specific, so I have to write the tags h1, then close it off like that. So we'll save again, come to my browser, reload. I have something like that. So in order to add Bootstrap using the CDN, do you know what CDN stands for? CDN in full.
I've already forgotten.
Ah. So CDN is Content Delivery Network. So basically, it's like you're having Bootstrap. They're getting Bootstrap for you from the server. So I'll just click on Get Started. So I can actually just use this. So instead of me downloading Bootstrap, I can simply just grab this whole link. I'll just come, copy the whole link. Eric last time just copied the href, but even now if you just copy the whole link, it can still work. So come this side, then paste my link. So yeah, I don't have to write the tags manually because it comes with everything. So last time we didn't add these attributes, but it doesn't matter. So you can just save, then when I load now, yeah, now my Bootstrap is working. You can even see the font changed. So that's how you link Bootstrap using the CDN. Alternatively, you can use the offline version. Did he show you the offline version?
Yeah, it's what we used.
Oh, okay. Because I'm going to give you the project and it's kind of wide. Maybe you need to work both when you're online and while you're offline. So let's try the card. So I'll just come this side. So I'll just come to my search bar and then type card. They always bring me the card here. So I select what I want. Then I'll simply scroll down and grab the whole code. So we're using Bootstrap Online or the other PDF?
What do you mean online?
This one, just the one doing it.
No,
The other PDF, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's why, because Eric told me that the card in the PDF wasn't turning out the way it was expected. But this one actually should be working. All I have to do is get an image. I'll say, let me just download one. What can I use? Let me say lions. So just get any. Let me try this. I'll just save image as. I'll just put it on my desktop and save. So after, remember, I have to grab it from the desktop because actually, Vanessa, this is the problem you had. So for you, we're just copying the actual path. So yet you have to always include your image in the same directory. So when you push over to GitHub, the image wasn't showing. Why? Because you didn't push everything on your desktop to GitHub. So you always have to make sure your images are in the same directory. Or the easiest thing actually to do is to separate them in the images folder like this. Then you include all your images, so that when you're pushing this work to GitHub, you know even your images are going alongside the files. So when I come back now to my code, and I'll simply replace this, the source, and say, so now because I copied my image from the desktop to the images folder, I have my image called download.jpg. So I'll simply come here, and since my images are inside the folder called images, I have to rectify the path by first of all saying go to the images folder, open it, then inside look for an image called download.jpg. Vanessa, have you seen that? So this will still work, and its advantage is that you don't have to worry about your images not working when you push your work online, because you will have pushed the whole project. Because when you're pushing one to GitHub, you push the whole project the way it is, like this. But when I use the path, it works if at all you're working on your machine, but it's tricky when it comes to pushing work online. And my card works. So I replaced the source with the actual image. So I can even play around with the content. Maybe I can just say something about lions. I'll come here. I saw some Wikipedia. The lion. Let me just copy some content here. Yeah. So I'll just grab this. Say Ctrl+C. Then come to the code. And simply replace my paragraph. Like this. Oh, sorry, try this. So I can save, come and check. So actually, most of the time, this is how you're going to be developing things quickly, like coming up with a website very quickly, because you already know CSS and HTML, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, or you don't have to take so much time typing things you already know. Since now you know a div works like this, class attributes work like this, so you just have to know where to edit it. Just like before, we were typing the structure manually, but after understanding the structure and where you put everything there, we decided to use the shortcut. Same thing for Bootstrap. Someone sat down and wrote all these classes for you. All you have to do is call that class. So you don't have to go ahead and write everything on your own, because when it comes to, we can actually come up with the same thing like this using HTML and CSS alone, but Bootstrap makes things easier. So you just have to have your HTML and then call these respective classes, and you have things working out quickly. So if I now need a card, I can even do more cards, do as many cards as I want. So I can even change the button to say read more. Which class do you use to make a green button or a red button? Because BTN primary stands for a blue button. So which class do we use to create a red
Success.
one? Yes, we use success. So you find out actually these colors for green, yes. So these colors also have meanings, like on the traffic lights, when they're telling you to go, they always say green. The lights will always be green. So when they're telling you to stop, they use red. So which class here indicates red in Bootstrap? Yeah, and my button changed to green. So which class indicates red?
I don't remember that one.
That one. Okay, it's actually danger. So you simply have to just have to play around the classes. The other resource I would recommend is okay, let me just show you the buttons. So there are different classes. When you say warning, red is danger, warning is yellow or orange. We have secondary, that's gray. We have info, we have light, we have dark. So these are the respective classes powering up all these buttons. When I want all of them, I can simply just come grab this code. But you won't actually need them at the same time. You just need to pull one where necessary. Let's say, do you know how to write comments in HTML? Huh?
Comments in
HTML. How do you write comments?
That's less than, then hyphens, two hyphens. Less than.
Exactly. Then the two hyphens. Yes. So I can say I want Bootstrap button. So this actually helps in that even if you're not the one, like now for this project, you're going to be working with a friend. So they need to know what you're trying to do, like at a particular moment. So even if someone is not with us right now, when I say we're working on Bootstrap buttons, they can be able like to read through and know these are right now we're working at the buttons. Maybe later on, oh, this is our CDN, so I can just even say Bootstrap CDN, so that they understand why we need all this code. So comment with it very help out a lot of times, especially for the developers, because that way someone will be able to understand your code even if you're not like working together at a particular moment. I can also name my card like this is the Bootstrap card using comment, and the good thing, they won't be shown in the browser. So it's someone who can use the text editor, who can tell, who can read like the documentation. Bootstrap card, like that. So my work. Yeah. So I have so many buttons here, down, but they're part, it's like they're part of my card, which I didn't want. But this one is success, this one is primary, this is second. Actually, just here, the good thing, they used the actual classes we're supposed to use. So this one's BTN primary, BTN secondary, BTN success, BTN danger, BTN warning, BTN info, BTN light, BTN dark, and BT. This is just a link. So you can call these classes depending on what button you want to create. When you want a black one, you just call upon BTN black, BTN dark. Sorry. If you want a red one, you just say BTN danger. Okay. Yeah. I know why it happened like this. The part of my so I have to just remove them like this. Control X to cut. So I should have put them after the div, right? So sometimes when you get weird results, just go back to your files and see the order, how you arrange them. Check my work again. Yeah, right now my card is independent and the buttons will just come after, immediately after the card. Why they were showing that way last time? Because I nested them inside the div with which contained our card. Carol, do you have any questions? Any questions, Arinda? Oh, Carol's left.
No, I've got it. I'll just go and try it again.
Yeah, you use the website, eh?
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to show you is the Bootstrap grid. Eh? Since in the assignment we're going to be using the grid. So let me just type grid. So Bootstrap has the grid system where like it separates your, it just divides your whole page into different sections, and the highest like it's from 1 up to 12. Eh? So when you want section your website into different like columns, eh? You have from column 1 to column 12. So let's say you want to divide your row into three sections or 3 columns. So you simply do 12 divided by 3. So you get to know like I'm going to like do 4 4 like 4 4 3 times to make 12. When you want 4 columns, that means you're going to do 3 3 3 4 times. Let's take an example. So how you do that row, let me just actually do it practically without getting code from Bootstrap. So let me just write a comment called Bootstrap grid system, Bootstrap grid. So it works in this way, like you have your div, and this div will have a class of row. So classes, same procedure, you always put classes. Classes are attributes. So you always put class names inside the opening tag. So immediately after the element name, you write your class attribute. I want a class of row. That means you've specified like you want the whole row to be taken up. So a row like from your left to the right. So like you're taking up the whole row. You can even try to use CSS because CSS can always override Bootstrap. So let me try giving it a background color, because Bootstrap was written but it won't give you anything. It will give you like code so that you don't have to write from scratch, but at some point you need to customize it to what you want to fit in a particular style that you want. So what you always do is override the Bootstrap classes using CSS. So what we do here is create a CSS file. I'll say style.css, and you know how we select classes. How do you select classes in CSS? With that?
What do you mean select with the hashtag?
The hashtag is the ID. The hashtag,
ID.
yes, when you're selecting an ID. When you're selecting an element using the ID. So for classes, you simply do a full stop.
Oh,
Yes, the full stop indicates a class. So even actually in Bootstrap, why we're calling using classes, when you look at that file, the one Eric showed you last time, it has a lot of full stops in. That means when you use IDs, it won't apply, but when you use classes, that means you're calling upon that particular style. So I'll just say background color of, let me say, teal. Let's save and see how our row appears in the browser. Yeah, it's not working. Why? Do you know why?
you didn't link your
Yes,
CSS
exactly. So anytime you write CSS, you always have to link. But this time, since we also want Bootstrap to take its effect, but we just want to customize, we always put the CSS file under the Bootstrap link, because these files are written like from top to bottom. That means your Bootstrap will load before the CSS, since CSS is meant to customize Bootstrap. So I would just say link to CSS or CSS link. So to make my file, just normally how we used to do it, then you put in the file name, which is style.css, and save. Now when I reload, you see, I have actually my row is there, but there is nothing inside. I guess that's why we're not seeing. But if I'm to inspect, yes, it's just below saying after the buttons.
Yeah.
So let's try putting in something. Yeah, now you can see it clearly, I guess.
Yeah.
I saying it takes on like the whole row like this. So let's say now, actually, like from here, from your left to the right, it's 12. So when I want to like create like separate columns, what I'll do is create these individual divs inside my current div. So what I'll do, I'll just get rid of this. So it's like I'm going to nest. So you can nest as many elements as possible, just the way they nested divs inside the card. So you have this main div, and then we also have another one here, like that, like it's nesting. So when you want to have your content on the same row, that means you have to like have one main class, which is a div with a class of row. Then you nest the other columns. So what we're going to do is nest the individual columns in here. So I'll say maybe column 1. Or I can even say 1, just number 1, just a white one. But when I just say a div inside just code 1, you see, actually it will just replace this with 1, but it won't do anything unless when I specify I want it like to carry on a Bootstrap class called I'll say the class attribute class then I specify I want a column. You can actually specify I want a medium column, I want small, or I want extra small. Let's say I want a medium one. MD, maybe I want 6. Let's first divide it into 2. So let me just save my work. Let's save and you see. So you're not seeing, but what it does, it actually like takes on half. Let's be a bit more specific by adding a border. So I'll be specific and say I want my div with a class of this. So I'll select it like the same way. I want a div with a class of it was MD minus 6, yes. And I want to give it a border. You're going to see the space it carries, like it takes from the 12. So I'll just specify the border using our normal CSS. I'll say border of maybe 2 pixels. Then I can say either solid or dotted. Let's try dotted, because someone was like, why do you always use solid? So let's try red and we see, so that it's very, very clear. Save the work, then come this side. You see? Let me just zoom in. Are you seeing the border?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it's 1. Why? Because you only have 1 div inside, and we said this should take only 6. So I think it's dividing our web page like it's taking only half of the web of the whole width. So what the other space left is just a free space. So what I can do is also like add another div. So even if I put in some content, even if it's a paragraph, instead of having, maybe I can even do H1 H1. And say column 1. Then inside I put a paragraph. I'll just use the rem. Then save my work. So I guess you can see it now clearly. So it will never like take the whole space. It always stop at 6. So the other space, that means is left out, and is 6. I can even decide to say I want another one which is 6, or I can simply say let me just do another div. So I have to be careful. Yeah, it has to be inside the class of row, but outside the class of this one, with the column. But it should be like in the same row. The row is like the parent div. These ones are the children of that div. So I'll just do column 2, just H1. I'll say column 2. So you also just have to specify class. I'll say column. Then I'll also like specify I want to take 6. Remember it's 12. So okay, I'm going to ask you. Let's first test this and we see. You see, column 2 you always take on this. Are we together? Do you have any questions? But actually, I saying it also takes on the other style. Why we say we were very, very like weren't specific. We said anything with a class of column hyphen MD6 should have this border. That's why it's having also the red border around. So when you want to be a bit more specific, you always identify them. If at all you want different styles for the different columns, use IDs instead. So you just have to uniquely identify it using the ID. So my question was, what happens when I put 7 here on the second one? What do you think will happen?
When you put 7.
Yes, instead of 6. Remember we said that it takes like a 12. What do you think will happen when now we do 8 or a number above 6? Because the first 6 is already taken up by our first column.
I don't think it will work.
It will work, but how will it appear in the browser? How do you think it will appear in the browser?
I don't know.
Okay, let's just try it. Okay.
You will have to create another row.
Yeah, actually, exactly. It will be just pushed to a new line. Let me try putting 7 here. Just even making it bigger by 1 number. You see, it will work, but this will be pushed on a new line. Why? Because when they're making this grid system, they say the highest number is 12. So when you like add these 2 numbers, or the 3 numbers, or the 4 numbers, they must add up to 12. Anything beyond 12 will always be pushed below. And actually, it's no longer carrying on the styles, because our class was very, very specific when you wanted it in CSS. Only when you wanted elements with a class of call MD6 to have this border. So it's still working, but just they carry that normal, like normal as a normal div. My other question is, what if I want 3 columns now? How do I do it instead of 2?
You 3 columns.
Sorry?
You do 4 routines.
Yes. So when I want 3 columns, I would do 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So I would just do 4. When I just change this to be 6, let's first test and see. You see now it will go back. Why? Because 6 plus 6 you get 12. So when I want 3 of them, I'll simply just copy this and do a third one. Then I'll just change from 6 to 4. Even this one 4. Even this one 4. I'll change this to be column 3. Then save my work. You see now, this one will take up this space from here up to here. Then this also like column 2 just take on the equal space, even column 3. But the styles are no longer applying because we're now targeting something different. When you want the border back, you just have to come to your CSS and update. Instead of targeting with column 6, since we changed our column, we change this to column 4, so that you see like what amount of space each column takes. But just know that it will always be equal. But you cannot as well do like spaces which are not equal. Any questions?
So that's the first row. So if I have to do another row, I'll have to create another div.
Yes, you repeat the process. So all you have to do is create a separate div with a class of row. So you have to make sure it's outside this one.
Okay.
So you come, actually the good thing about Visual Studio Code is when you click on the opening tag, it will always show you where it's closing off from.
Okay.
So I can decide to do another comment here, maybe second row. Like this. So I'll do div with a class of row. Then inside I'll just do like others. I can even like the shortcut, you can use the shorthand. When you type the word div, then put a full stop, because we have M8. It can always help us out. I want maybe I want 2 then 2 plus 2, that's 4, then the rest is 8. Yeah, I can do this 2. They'll just get me this. I'll call it 1 to H1 and say 1. Then I do the same for my second div, but they're all inside. Remember, they're all inside this this parent div with a class of row. So I'll say number 3. This is 3. Oh, it's too fast. This was meant to be 2. Then I'll just do the third one. This is our number 3. So actually the order doesn't matter so long as it adds up to 12. So what I do is change this one to be 8. So that means this other one will take up a bigger space compared to the first 2 columns. So when I come this side, you see now we have to like these ones. If I'm to put like the borders, let's put the border and we see. I'll just put call MD2 the border of 2 pixels. Let's try a solid one. Let me say black. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah, so these ones will only take up like 4, which is actually like this like the first our first row had like 4 you see, it's exact like here. This is 4, but now we're dividing it like for 2 elements, this one and this one. Okay. Then the one which takes up 8, I can also give it like I can even try to do different colors, like style them accordingly. Just say the class of 8, I'll just change my background color to any other color I want. You can have like different styles. So I'll say I want a background color of which color should I use? Blue, eh? Let's say blue. Then I want a border still, and we see what amount of space it takes exactly. I'll say that's a small border. I'll say 1 pixel and solid. Oh, I want a dashed border. Can say dashed or double border. Let me try double. Which color for the border? Which color blends well with? Let's try white and we see. By the way, I use hex codes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's try that. You see? Now these others are like having a another background, but this one in particular is having a background color of blue. Then it's having a different border. When you want to like see them clearly, we can even maybe do HR like to force a new line, like to force a line or a line break. Then let me save. See, now we've separated them.
I didn't before you put the HR.
I just put like this horizontal rule, Are you seeing the line in between our columns, In the code I just put HR, like just after the first div,
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually have as many as possible. Maybe after every section you want a line, So this is the same way you created a line. Did you work on a Facebook assignment? Because it had some line, even the Google assignment. So to add that line, you just use HR in your HTML. Any questions? So this is like very, very common when it comes to websites. They always have a team section, and maybe like they always use cards to specify the name and then the profile picture for someone and their job description down. So this is very, very common. Actually, when you look at different websites and inspect, you always see there is a div somewhere, especially for those with the different columns. there is a div with a class of row, and then those rows were given special digits, like imply how the amount of space each person takes or each column takes. So you can have as many as possible. You can even duplicate this card. So you simply highlight. So Bootstrap makes styling easy. So someone just start, you don't have to like reinvent the wheel. And a bit about it is that it's very, very responsive. When you have your work in Bootstrap, that means you won't have to worry about building a different version for your smartphone or for the tablet or for the desktop. It will always be responsive. So let's test and see after duplicating our card. Oh. Yeah, but actually our card appears on different lines. How do you make it to be inside like the same row? Let me actually add the third one, and we make them aligned. How can we achieve that?
I don't know.
Sure. How did we achieve to make the 3 columns? How did we come up with the other columns?
The other columns are in the same class B class.
Yes. So actually it's the same thing you do for this one. It's the same thing you do for this one. You just have to nest it. You see? Right now, because they are independent and divs are always displayed at block elements, that means they will always appear on different lines. But in order to make them appear on the same line, using Bootstrap, we always use our grid. So, but you always have to make sure they're in the same div, like the parent div, and you always give the parent div a class of row. So I have to make sure the closing tag, this is my opening tag, div with a class of row. Then I come, oh, what am I doing? Div with a class of row. So I have to make sure this div closes off after our card, after that all the 3 cards, which is this side. The good thing I was putting in comments there, I know like where my cards end. So comments are also very, very important for documenting your work. So when I save, it won't do for me anything, but I've just simply nested. Oh, actually it works. They are pushed because I specify the same row. That means that they have to appear on the same line. Though they didn't, let me check my code properly. Maybe somewhere they indicated how much space each is supposed to take. Yeah, actually it just appears in the same line, but I guess because of this width, it always take on the, that particular portion. So let's try adding this another class here. So when you want to add multiple classes, what we always do, instead of us doing a class again, what we always do, when your element has more than 1 class.
When your element has more than 1
Yes.
class.
Now, for example, for the buttons, they were having 2 classes. One was BTN, then the other was BTN dash primary, to imply I need a button with a blue background. So how do we do it? So you simply actually just put a space, and then use the class name. So call MD let's say 4. Then I'll do the same here after a card, because we already have a class code card on this div, which is nesting our whole card. So I'll do the same here. Immediately after the first class, always put a space. Don't mix the words, because it will assume it's the same class. But when you put space, it will understand you're putting in another class. So it's not a good practice to put class and class again. Remember, you don't have to repeat yourself. So what you do is simply put a space and specify what other class you want. So I'll save. Let's check now. Yeah. And you see, now it's covering. Why? Because we said we wanted to take 4. Now, like the space that was around is it's just like they're giving them some small margin. This white space around. But each card is taking up the 4. If you don't want it to take up the 4, or maybe want to like add the 4th one, we just have to reduce the size of our columns. Any questions? Vanessa, how are you? Any questions, Aringa?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. Did you manage to like work on the image?
Which one? This image?
Yes, the images.
No, that's why I've just written in and said I would like a recorded version of this whole lesson so that I can catch up on it.
Oh.
I was kind of caught in something.
Oh, good enough. I've been recording, so I'm going to share.
Okay.
But in regards with Bootstrap, were you around when Eric was teaching?
No, not really. So I'm going to just do the whole thing once and for all today.
But I'm sure Arinda has understood everything so well. Maybe she can help explain in case you're finding difficulties. But I'm also around. You can just WhatsApp.
Okay, then I will.
But basically, we've been looking at the grid system, like how people come up with these websites, where it takes up like maybe 6, when you want 6 people on the same line, maybe 6 profile pictures, or 8, or 4, or the team, or maybe your products. So maybe like you're doing a business and you want to like tell someone more about your product. This may be different products. Let's say you're doing what kind of business? Let me see. Anything. Let's say you're doing maybe a restaurant, and you have different meals on your menu.
Different menus.
Yes. So maybe you describe this menu. Maybe we're selling this and this, and it goes like for this and this. Maybe when you want to like read more about it, how to prepare it, what ingredients we use. So you always need something like this. Maybe on a different menu you do this. Maybe when you're doing cakes, you do birthday cakes, and then you just put like a different image. Your wedding cakes, for any occasion. So they always use these.
So that's it.
The Bootstrap cards, and they will always be in these rows using the grid.
Oh, so the bootstrap card can help you do all that.
Yeah, Bootstrap cards will help us
just
come up with something like this. The one you're seeing. Are you seeing my cursor? Yeah. So this is a Bootstrap
Yes,
card.
I know.
Let me maybe let's try doing another one quickly. So what we do is go to the Bootstrap website. And since we are familiar with the
we do it online.
You can do it online or offline.
How do we do it offline? Do I get a Bootstrap something, or I can do it on Visual Studio?
Okay. Let's do another example when I'm using the offline version. let me just close this,
Okay.
and we'll do another one from scratch using offline. So you
Okay
simply
then.
create a folder.
Alright.
Let me say Bootstrap offline, and I show you actually how to even get it from the website. Bootstrap offline. I'm going to share my screen. So basically, the way you create a normal project is what I'm doing right now. So hope you're seeing my new window. This one, are you seeing my screen now? Yeah. So I'll simply create my HTML file. I'll do index.html, just normally the way we've been doing it. Put in my structure, same things we've been doing. Then I'll create a heading called Bootstrap offline.
In this,
Yes, just normal HTML. We haven't actually even touched the Bootstrap. Then save my work. I can even first test and see if it's working very, very well in the browser. Eric live server. Okay, because I'm using his machine. But anyway, you can always do it the normal way we've been doing it. You open your file in containing folder or reveal in Explorer, and our target is just opening it in the browser. So I'll just open my work in the browser like this. So we have our new project where we're going to work with Bootstrap offline. So in order to get Bootstrap offline, you visit the Bootstrap website. You simply open Google, then you go to a browser tab like this, type the word Bootstrap like this. So you just click on this one, the most popular HTML, CSS and JS library. So you're saying get started and download. So all I do is download, and actually it's very, very light. It takes around 6 MB over. It's not heavy. So you just download this. You just click on compress CSS and JS. So you click on download, or you can even use this button this side.
Yes.
Yeah. So when it's downloaded, it will just actually come out as a zipped folder. Do you know how to unzip folders normally? So what it does, it goes in the downloads. So I'll say showing.
Yes, I can unzip them.
Yes. So when you download something, most of the time it comes as a zipped folder. So all you have to do is unzip.
Yeah.
So I just say open. Linux, the procedure is different. You just extract, but even Windows has extract here, something like that. Or if at all you have 7-zip or it's called WinZip. So you can use any you have to unzip. So all I have to do is I'll just say extract to unzip in Linux. So they'll ask me where do you want to save your work. I'll simply say, okay, let me just put it on the desktop. And I select extract here.
Yeah.
So they will just give me Bootstrap on my desktop.
Yeah.
So hope you're seeing. I think it's this one. This one, It should actually contain the same name like the unzipped folder. So since these are long characters, I'll just rename. I'll just rename to just Bootstrap.
Okay.
Like this. So I'll select rename. So this, when I open this Bootstrap, it has so many files. I guess Eric showed you some of the files last time. So you see there are so many files, and what we're using, you can either use the minified version This is also CSS, but this one is it's not readable. It's compressed, like they put the files together, but if at all you can read through files properly, you can see the colors. You see that they're using hex codes. See, this is a color. I'm not seeing some properties, but basically this is also CSS. You can even see that the curly braces. I'm seeing background color here of white somewhere. You see. So this is CSS still, but it's compressed and hard to read. If at all you want to view the actual CSS, you use bootstrap.css. This one, actually they're the same files, they contain the same content, but one is readable and the other is not.
Yes.
So this is the readable version, but they still do the same things and it's the same code throughout. So we want to open the files. What we're going to do is move this file. Just so we always have our images folder in. Just so we move our images folder in our. In our project. So our project is called Bootstrap Offline. So I'll just simply copy my Bootstrap and paste it here. Like this. Then just go back to my Visual Studio Code. It will always be there. You see? Now I have two files. The CSS, just like how we saw it in the browser. So this is the one. So you can actually have the whole of them, but actually I prefer you have the whole folder, because at some point you also need the JS in. So in order to link Bootstrap, now actually we have Bootstrap offline, but it's not doing any effect to our page. When I open the browser, in the browser we still have our work the same. Why? Because they haven't linked. And in order to link our Bootstrap offline, we use the same procedure. Visual Studio, yes. So we use the same procedure of linking. So I'll type my link tag. Now the href. The href, actually when you look at the other version, it also has the link. But this one they are getting Bootstrap while from the website, from the actual website. But it's also a normal link in HTML. When you look at this CDN, you see? The href, they are visiting some websites, bootstrapcdn.com/bootstrap CSS, and they are using bootstrap.min.css. So you can also use that min.css, but for us this time round it's inside our project. We can work with it while we're offline. So I will just do Bootstrap. Since now my CSS folder, my bootstrap.min.css is inside the Bootstrap folder, I'll have to specify the path. You see, it's just here, or bootstrap.css. So should we use the minified version or bootstrap.css?
Bootstrap.css.
Yeah. So also bootstrap.css is just here. Here. So, but it's inside the folder called CSS. So you just do /CSS. You have to actually follow the path, just the way we had our image. So I'll select Bootstrap. .css. And have my link here. So actually that's all I need. Save my work. That's all I need to link my Bootstrap. Actually, some people, what they always do is go inside the CSS folder and just grab out only this file, because it's actually the file that contains the CSS we want. But let's just leave it to that for now. And then when I check my work, you see, now actually Bootstrap is working. You see the font changed, just though we had our CDN in the first place. Any questions, Vanessa? Questions?
For a minute, I think my internet jumped off. when you had finished downloading the Bootstrap zip file, then putting it in Visual Studio,
Oh,
then linking. I stopped when you were linking.
linking. Actually, linking, you just do like a normal link, just the way you link CSS. The only difference is
Yes.
that this time round, my bootstrap.css is inside the folder, another folder.
Mm.
So to go to my
Yes.
bootstrap, like normally it's just inside bootstrap. This is my main folder, bootstrap.
Mm.
Then to go to CS, like
Yes.
it's inside like CSS folder again, not JS, because you also have
Yes.
bootstrap.js, but you want CSS this time round.
Yes.
So you have to also open CSS and just grab this bootstrap.css. So we just have to follow that path, but the procedure is the same. So I have to do bootstrap slash css, the folder which contains other files. Then I'll do bootstrap.css. So that's all I need to link my bootstrap. And when I come to the browser, it will work very, very well. So now about the card, you just come like to your website. Still, the Bootstrap website is a very, very good place to get your content. So you just put in what you want. So I want a card. I'll simply come. On my left, there is always a search, input field. So I'll just come. They'll tell me more about Bootstrap cards, what they do, and then they always give examples. So since I'm already we all familiar with HTML and CSS, I know this is a div, this is a class, this is the image tag. So I'll simply just highlight my code and copy it. Because right now we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We've already done these things.
Yes.
Come to my file, my index file, my HTML file, and simply write a comment to indicate I'm working on the Bootstrap card.
Yeah.
So I'll just put in Bootstrap card. And then I'll press enter. Then just right click and paste my code. Or Ctrl V. So when I save my file and open my work in the browser, this is our document, Bootstrap offline. You see? I have my card.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
A minute. This one Bootstrap is not working. Let me see. Is it that one? Let me see. Let me just open the file again, because it seems like yeah, but also I'm saying my CSS is not working. Oh, a minute. Maybe I linked. I put something because I'm seeing some red lines here. So did we edit our Bootstrap file? Because it's no longer working the way it's expected. And I'm seeing some lines. Maybe I edited accidentally. So let me just remove this. But the process is the same. So for you don't have to delete it, because it's showing me some warning stuff which is not supposed to be there. Maybe I edited somewhere. So I'll just simply come back and put my file again. Since I have my zip, my downloaded folder already, and I unzipped, I just come to my desktop, grab this again, because it seems like the whole Bootstrap wasn't working. So just put it back and check my work again in the browser. So let's reload, because I expected the image not to work, but the others, I expected them to be working. Something is wrong. I know why. Who has seen the mistake? You see the link? Eh? Are we still there?
The link.
Yes. This is supposed to be like a small B. Are you seeing my Bootstrap folder?
Yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a small B, not a capital B. So that's where the mistake was coming from only. So it should be working now. Yeah, and it's working. It's just that the image is not there. So you have to be very, very careful when it comes to linking. Eh?
Okay.
So in order to make the image work, all I have to do is put the actual image, because right now my image looks like there is no source. Eh? And Vanessa, this is where you made a mistake last time. So you have to make sure the image is also like just where you have put in Bootstrap. You have to also make sure you have images within your website.
Yes.
So what I would do is come here, and I already have an image, the lion. So I'll grab this image, copy it, and make sure it's pasted inside my Bootstrap offline. Or sometimes I can also create a folder called images. If I'm to have more than one image, I always create a folder called images. Then inside I'll put all my images for my project.
Yes.
So when I come back to my text editor, you see I have an images folder, and inside I have an image for your lion.
Yes.
So I'll come and replace like the source, since it wasn't having anything. Now, what's the path I'm going to use to get to the download.jpg?
What? Like what you're going to use?
Yes. How did I like come up with up to bootstrap.css? Because it's inside a folder. So the same procedure we used. So to get to download, what do I do?
You're going to put the source would be images.
Exactly.
Stroke, wherever it is.
Yeah. So you put images stroke download.jpg. Yeah.
Yes.
Then save my work. So I'll come this side and say, let me open my work and you see. And when I load, you see, I have a beautiful Bootstrap card with my image.
Yeah.
So all I have to do is just maybe update my content to say we're talking about the lion, not the card title. So I'll replace the card title with a lion. Maybe I can also replace my content. Let me say, like whatever you edit, you just save and view your changes in the browser.
Then it will show the other side.
So instead of card title, I have a lion. So to change this to a green button or a red one, all you have to do is use the Bootstrap classes.
Okay.
So what class do we use for? This was blue. We want a red. So I simply say danger, btn danger.
Oh.
So I'll have a red button instead. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically that's what we've been looking at. Actually, there are different classes. When you come here and want to know more about buttons, we looked at this with the render before you came in. So you just come say, I want buttons. They will give you icing. So this primary is the one we had in the first place. Now we're using danger icing. Danger is the red one. We want a green one. It says say btn success. btn warning to get the yellow one, the dark one. There are so many. So any questions?
Not really. At least I've gotten what you told just right now.
Okay. So I have a big project for you people. I don't know, let me just share the project. I don't know if you can try it out using Bootstrap, just so you've been learning here. So you just have to use the grid system and also like the different bootstrap classes plus images, right? So it's here you're going to design this website. Let me just show you the website. It's the next web, the next web. TNW. You're going to design something like this in Bootstrap,
Yeah.
So these are just like the different rows. Eric, in the last tutorial, Eric showed you how to do the navigation. So these are just Bootstrap cards, just the way we've done this one. So you're just going, because this is a big one, so I prefer you do it in pairs. So you get a friend, work on something, and then you push work to GitHub.
Okay, then.
So I'm going to share like the documents and also the screenshot of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
That's it for today, unless you have any questions.
Not really.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you too.
Have a good day.
Have a nice day.